Hello, Happy New Year, dear Virgo. This is your January 2017 tarot reading. Most of the readings end up being love readings because I feel that that's probably most sought after by the people that do come to YouTube for a reading or to hear about the energies around their sign. So I will be discussing love. However, if anything else comes up in the reading, I will also be discussing that. The readings for your sun, moon, and rising sign. However, I found that in my personal circumstances or situation, I have found my North Node sign to be North Node sign readings to be quite informative. Also, my Venus sign has also been quite informative on occasion as well. So it's always worth checking them out to see what they are saying. They might enrich or further support other readings that maybe you've listened to, or even just your own inner kind of knowing. Sometimes it can kind of give you confirmation about that. That may not be discussed in your sun sign reading or your rising or moon. It may be more of your Venus energy that's being kind of highlighted for that particular month. So yeah, it can get quite complex. But yeah, just bear that in mind. I always do. So enough of me rambling on. So we've got Cups card right at the center of the reading, but then no more cups throughout. So I do believe that and it is the Seven of Cups, and then it is crossed by the lovely King of Swords. So definitely a decision has been made by the looks of it, or you are being asked to make quite an important decision. You've maybe got a lot of offers being made to you. If it's a romantic, if we're going to interpret this romantically, dear Virgo, we've got a lot of romantic opportunities being offered to us, and we're now having to make a decision as to who we're going to choose, who you're going to choose, or how you're going to proceed forward, or how you're going to decide on a way forward. There may just be many paths open to you, if it is in terms of work, because we do have a King of Pentacles as the outcome. So you may have had many job offers that all seem pretty good, pretty fun, pretty exciting, or maybe just new opportunities have developed for you in your business. But you're now at a point now with all these new opportunities and developments and offers being made to you. You're now having to maybe think less with your heart in terms of how you're going to move forward, and think a little bit more strategically about what's really going to work for you going forward in terms of your money. I do mention money because on either side of the Seven of Cups, we've got two coin cards. We've got the Two of Coins in your recent past, and then we've got the King of Pentacles in your near future. So that's really positive. So it looks like there's definitely been some sort of graduation. It may be that you had a lot going on, a lot on your plate. You had, two coins. So you had maybe a lot to do at work. Maybe you had to do a lot of multitasking, a lot of balancing of obligations and priorities, and have to still kind of keep things moving forward, even though you've got a lot to do. So it looks like, again, there is this juggling thing. You could have been given two options. You could have been juggling or managing, sometimes in work, as we probably all know, living in the UK with the recent changes in the economy, over the past few years, where there would have been two jobs, there's now one. It could be something like that. It could be that you were fulfilling a role in your organization where you were essentially covering two roles. It could be that you were moving from one role to another, and then there was this overlap of, you could have been moving internally, in organization, and there's that handover period where you're, having to juggle both, having to kind of tie up loose ends in the past, and also going forward working on that too. But it looks like presently you're now in a position where you'll be given a lot of offers. So maybe, you've achieved something here. Maybe people have been noting your hard work. Or maybe you feel like you don't want to juggle anymore and you're now looking at other options. You're thinking, okay, maybe I'm not focusing my energy as much as I should be on what I really want to do or what's really going to be profitable for me in the long run. I do feel like that's actually more what's happening here. I do feel like you are considering other options. Maybe you are completely happy kind of juggling those two, being in that kind of, you could have your own business personally and then have your job. And now you're being asked to look towards the future now and look at what you really want and really decide more seriously about how you're going to get there. Yeah, basically, you may have had a lot of dreams of what you wanted to do, a lot of hopes and ideas of what you wanted to do, and now the King of Swords is saying, okay, so how are you going to do that? Instead of wishing and dreaming about it, are you actually going to make this real? The King of Pentacles also says that, are you actually going to make this real? The King of Pentacles wants to make things actually real. He wants to see things actually manifested from your thoughts, from the King of Swords, planning in your mind and strategically thinking of a way forward to actually making it happen with the King of Pentacles. And it looks like that's actually what happens in January. You do actually bring something to fruition. And it seems to be quite successful. We've got two kings here. So whatever you're doing, you seem to know exactly what you're doing. And I think it's just maybe just a little bit of a pain having to kind of reject certain offers that maybe made you happy or seemed to possibly offer happiness in the future. You're now kind of being asked to kind of be more realistic about what's really going to work and not what's just going to make you feel good. So yeah, the King of Pentacles actually offers real security. So your future looks very secure monetarily once you do decide and make a decision on how you're going to move forward. Again, we've got the Two of Swords at the base of the reading, which again talks to decisions. So the Two of Swords here is about someone who is obviously trying to make a decision between possibly their head and their heart. It could be that they're thinking about it too much and maybe they do need to use their intuition. So maybe the King of Swords is saying, maybe the King of Swords could be actually hindering you, because in that position the crossing card could be a help or a hindrance. So it could be that maybe, forget everything I just said. It could be that you are being asked to maybe look or, make a decision based on your intuition, based on how you feel, what your gut is telling you. Not so much your head. But the position that it's in shows how you are actually being. So it's not so much an advice card per se, although the whole reading is kind of advice. It's not really in an advice position. It's more in a revealing position. So it's just letting you know that, that is where you're at. Subconsciously, you are maybe really tired. You might really feel like your hands are tied, like you really don't know how to make a choice because you're trying to be strategic, but maybe you just can't help it. Your intuition or your feelings and emotions are telling you to do something else. So a bit of confusion. You don't really know what to do. The Queen of Rods is crowning the reading, and usually it gives advice to what the card on the base position is saying. So the Queen of Rods could be saying, maybe, you have to take control of the situation. You can't stay in this state of flux. You have to be brave and you have to make a decision. You have to do what really makes you feel alive and powerful. The Queen of Rods, that's what she's about. She's about what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel powerful, what makes you feel in control, what makes you feel like creative, like you really are on your path. That inspired excitement. That's the kind of energy that she has. So, yeah, I think she is saying, look, be brave. Don't stay in fear. Don't get stuck in indecision. Be decisive. Know what you want. The Queen of Rods is saying, look, you do know what you want. Ultimately, everyone knows what they want. The Queen of Rods also asks you to be quite grown up about things. So, she's a woman who's learned from her mistakes, who's had certain experiences. She's a real grown woman. So she's possibly asking you as well to, be very much a grown up, especially with the two kings here as well. Very much a grown up reading. There's no pages here apart from the outcome. We've got page swords. But yeah, where you're at, you may be feeling very much decisive, because Queen of Rods is the decisive one. So yeah. You yourself feel, or we got the Sun card here representing how you personally feel about a situation or how you see yourself. And you see yourself, as the Sun. So you see yourself as very much in your element, feeling feeling quite brave as well, but brave in a way where you just you love yourself enough to be honest with everyone involved. Like you, it is a lot to do with self-love and just that expression, again, that creativity. So yeah, with the Queen of Rods as to the overarching crowning card of the reading. And also it talks to how you're approaching the situation. You do feel very much in control. And you do feel like maybe the job that you do choose or the opportunity that you do choose leads you to feel very much like you're being honest with yourself. And you have that inner sense of happiness, like again, like you're really on your path. So yeah, that's really beautiful. And I think with that being a major arcana as well, it's looking as if that whatever choice you do make, make sure it is to do with make sure it feels in line with your path. Absolutely. If you haven't already decided to go, use that mode of action. But yeah, definitely it is about you being on your path. The King of Pentacles as well is representing Virgo or the earth signs. We've got the Hermit card here again as the overarching energy for the month. So I do think, and then we've got the Justice card as to how people see you. So people even see you as actually being completely honest, and doing what you need to do to get yourself back on track, or not even back on track, but to get you to where you want to be. But yeah, the Sun card here and the Queen of Rods definitely talks about to your own heart, what really sings true to you. The Hermit card could also be asking you to, go inside, especially with the Two of Swords at the base of the reading. It is asking you to kind of go inside, take that time on your own to really think about what where your guiding light is. What does really make you feel like you. It's also a very spiritual card. So you could be seeking advice from someone who's quite spiritual, possibly an older person, possibly speaking to people that are older than you that maybe have been where you've been, could definitely help. Yeah, speaking to friends and as well with the Sun card, speaking to like minds could definitely help to reach your decision or to help you move forward. With the Justice card being as to how people see you, again, people just see you as being quite decided, fair, and people might also see as justice finally being served to you. People might see you as being justified in what you're doing. You know, they say, well, no, people might people who don't know you or people who've got no clue might say, why would you ever leave your secure job to go and start a new adventure doing what you really want to do, or whatever you do decide to do. But the people that maybe know you, the people that are around you in your environment, they see it as completely justified, and they see you as feeling like you know what you're doing is right. So people do see you as being a person of conviction at the moment. Then got the Three of Swords. As to your hopes and fears, so yeah, I can understand that completely. If you're starting something new, you're going to be fearing that your expectations might not be met and you might be heartbroken. So you could have your eye on a dream, decide to choose to go forward with that, putting your whole heart into it, the Sun, the Queen of Rods. And after, thinking about it with the Hermit and going into yourself and thinking about what you really want, there is going to be a major fear of, if I do all this, is it all going to end horribly? We're never going to know what's actually going to happen, but nothing beats a failure but a try. That's one proverb. And also, by us following our dreams, even though we might reach for the stars, we might end up at the moon. So, you might not, to be honest with you, with the Sun card showing up here, so much support with you moving in this direction, I can't really see it being a negative outcome at all. There's no warnings around anything. It's just, there's actually no warnings for you not to move forward at all. Only advice is to take the time to really make the right decision about how you're going to move forward. With the Hermit card and the Sun card, what's really good for you. Queen of Rods, again, she says what's really good for you. That's the only warning. So I think that the Three of Swords is just a normal, natural fear. The outcome is the Page of Swords. So you will be embarking on something new. You will be learning how to communicate in a new way. You could be doing a lot of research into your new endeavor as well. It's a very new, you're basically learning. It's literally learning, like educationally. Literally reading, and also communicating. So you could also be spreading the word about your new venture as well. You could be talking to a lot of other people that are also involved in those types of activities that you want to get involved in. So it could be a lot of networking, especially with, a lot of chit chatter and back and forth, and, maybe nothing very meaningful, but just a lot of chit chat that kind of keeps the ball rolling, and keeps things moving forward and makes the right connections with the right people, but maybe nothing's really set in stone yet by the end of the month in terms of the communication and contacts that you make. So you may be doing a lot of planning at the beginning of the month, then taking some action, and then, maybe putting things in place. And then maybe towards the end of the month or somewhere near the end, last few weeks, you might actually go about spreading the word, telling people about your new venture, or networking to try and sell your idea. Or it could just be that you're just learning something completely new. As I said, just reading around your interests that you're deciding to pursue. We've got a few oracle cards that have been pulled out here. So we've got the first card, a leg up, number 34. A leg up could be pertaining to somebody helping you, getting the support that you need, possibly from the universe, as 3 and 4 does equate to 7. 7 is a very spiritual number. So could be that, the universe itself is kind of conspiring to help you move forward. That could be quite possible. Again, it could be pertaining to the Hermit card as to actually seeking advice as to making a decision to move forward. Then got the Chaos and Conflict card, number 33. Chaos and Conflict. So yeah, that probably is pertaining very much towards the Two of Swords again. Chaos and conflict in terms of it can be quite chaotic if deep down inside ourselves we feel undecided or we feel we've got a lot of options to choose from. Of course, we're going to feel a bit on edge. We don't really know if we're going left, right, forward, backwards, up or down. We don't know because we're in a state of flux. But when that's happening internally, external fluxes is one thing. An internal flux can do a lot to your well-being. So I think that's what it's pertaining to. It's just saying that, through chaos and conflict, as we can see, the zebra here seems to be changing from a zebra to a giraffe skin in the card. So yeah, it would just tell me that basically where there is change, there's conflict. So it just comes part and parcel, Then got another 5 here, which is the orphaned card, which is right next to the 3 of Swords. So maybe in the past there was some sort of disappointment, maybe with a venture that you've taken before. Maybe you're actually a bit worried that you're going to be on your own. So you're going to be leaving maybe a lovely big office or, your work family, as they call it, or a established kind of setup in terms of how, you're making your money. And you're going to have to possibly say goodbye. And that could be quite heartbreaking. And that's the 3 of Swords also represents that. Sometimes breaking up. So you may feel like you could be a bit worried you're going to be on your own. But you're never alone, ever. And with the Page of Swords in your outcome, it looks like there will be still a lot of communication with people. So you may find that you make new friends. At the outcome card as well, it's serendipity. So it does speak to, again, that whole, you might talk to someone and actually make a brand new friend or meet a whole new group of people that are interested or far more aligned with, your heart space, your heart center, what you really want, who you really are, and what really makes you happy. The Sun card also, is depicted as 2 people looking directly into each other's eyes, and they both seem to be standing naked, which basically just, and then the Sun card's right in the middle, and I always see that as your sun sign, and that's why I say it's about what's really in your heart, what really, if you were to be completely, utterly honest, as if you were a child, what would you say you really want right now? So it's that childlike honesty that may very well bring you new friendships. And the Page of Swords also talks very honestly. He doesn't, or she doesn't ever, she try and mince her words or his words, but the more and more he or she does that, the more and more confusing it probably sounds, because they are still learning how to express themselves through language or whatnot in a particular way. But it generally just means that you're talking to new people. You're, in terms of talking and communication, it's new. learning again is new. So I think you'll be making new friends possibly through your new, or making new connections. And I think it will feel quite fated with the serendipity card. It would just be you just be at the right place at the right time, talk to the right person, and then you make a great networking opportunity. Or you hook up with someone that actually can really support you going forward, or you could support them. Whatever, you could collaborate and it could really work. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Definitely, it's about kind of getting out there. Most definitely putting yourself out there, talking to people. If you are worried about this whole orphans feeling and, having to leave people behind and go out on your own, you do have to put yourself out there. It may be unusual to talk to new people that you've never talked to before, of course, or maybe being in a network situation is quite unusual for someone that's never been to one before, not knowing anyone and having to talk to strangers and introduce yourself in a particular way. But it looks like it will bring you some sort of luck. It will bring you, it will bring you some sort of luck. You've even got the four-leaf clover on the serendipity card. So yeah, lucky connections. It's possible. So I hope that reading pretty much helped. There was nothing much here about love, unfortunately. If there was anything about love, I would say that at the moment you would have a Queen of Rods on your mind. So a fire sign person may very well be on your mind at the moment, and you could be undecided. You could feel like you don't know how you're going to move forward with them. But again, the Hermit is saying, well, no, you do. And the Sun card is saying, actually, no, you do know how you're going to move forward. All you need to do is take some time out and think about what really makes you happy. And not get too lost in your emotions, I think. The King of Swords, I think, is actually trying to advise you here and saying, don't get too lost in your emotions. Focus on what you would try to be a bit balanced. Do what you like and follow your dreams in your heart, but also try and be a bit realistic and think about how that could actually work and play out and then put it into action. The King of Pentacles is in your near future. Again, this could be you could be just coming into your own, you could be more financially secure at this point. Or again, if it's pertaining to love, it could be that, the Queen of Rods and the King of Pentacles are getting together. They're absolutely, in love with each other with the Sun card. Or you may definitely feel like you found a kindred spirit. You feel a definite connection. You feel free around this person. Like you can just say what you want, be who you want. They may even finish your sentences. You could be just get on that well. You just understand each other, which is a beautiful thing. You're fearing that, you could be expecting too much and be left out on your own. But again, there's no cards here that says any separation. So it's just a fear that you have, which again is completely normal. If you're completely in love and you've got the Sun card, you're just obviously going to be worried that it's going to come to an end. So, but yeah, it looks like the outcome, though, if that is the case, if this is a love reading, you guys will be doing a lot of communicating this month. You may be introduced to his friends. He may introduce you to yours, or vice versa. If it's a she, he, whatever. You could be introduced to your partner's friends. And making a whole lot of new connections. Or you could just be learning how to talk to each other differently. Learning how to communicate with each other. Maybe, you've never really communicated in this way before with a partner. It's not every day that you find a Sun card kind of relationship. So it may be completely new to you and you're having to kind of maybe communicate in a very different way, but it's actually a very much a benefit to you. Anyway, I'm going to stop there because I've just talked a lot. There is a lot to say, I think, on this reading, but ultimately, look within. The Hermit card is saying, ultimately, look within, find your answers, and move forward from there. Take care. Happy New Year. Thank you for watching, and have a great month. Yeah. Take care. Bye.